Penguin Random House Audio presents A Mrs. Miracle Christmas by Debbie Macomber. Read for you by Cassandra Campbell.
Christmas 2019. Dear friends, my readers have always been vocal, and I appreciate it. You let me know what you're thinking. Your comments inspire and encourage me. Mrs. Miracle first made her appearance back in the late 1990s and struck a chord with readers. 3 HALLMARK movies followed. Still, you've let me know you want more. This story is a result of your request. One of the most frequently asked questions I get is, what is the inspiration for my stories? Where do the ideas come from? Most often, they come from life itself or people I meet. In this book, the idea formed when I met Beth Brody, the wife of my film agent. Beth told me the long, difficult journey to the adoption of their daughter. Their story brought tears to my eyes. Later, I met Liberty Lee, the daughter who miraculously came into their lives. It was the miracle part that got my attention and my imagination. Hence the book you are about to listen to. I hope you enjoy meeting up with Mrs. Miracle again. And just for fun, I threw a bit of intervention in from Shirley Goodness and Mercy. My wish is that my special angels will bring you a bit of charm and a smile to your Christmas. As I stated earlier, my readers are always welcome to contact me. I read every comment and take them to heart. You can reach me through my website or on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. If you want to use snail mail, then my mailing address is Post Office Box 1458, Port Orchard, Washington, 98366. The very warmest of holiday greetings, Debbie Macomber.
Chapter 1. Laurel McCullough arrived home to find 2 police cruisers parked in the driveway with their lights flashing. If that wasn't enough to get her heart racing, it was seeing her grandmother on the front porch, clearly distressed, wringing her hands and looking around anxiously. Laurel slammed her vehicle into park and leaped out of her car, nearly stumbling in her eagerness to find out what had happened. "Nana!" she cried, rushing toward her grandmother. The instant Laurel came into view, Helen covered her mouth with her hands, and her eyes, filled with dread, looked to the ground. "Laurel, oh dear, she said, her shoulders slumping. "I'm sorry. I've made a terrible mistake." Laurel wrapped her arms around her grandmother, hoping to comfort her. "Officer, what's going on here?" "Are you Laurel Lane? This is your grandmother?" "Yes, but McCullough is my married name." "I'm so sorry," Helen repeated, worry lines creasing her face. "When I woke from my nap, my mind was fuzzy. I was afraid because you weren't home from school, so I called the police." "Your grandmother reported that her 10-year-old granddaughter hadn't returned from school," the kind officer explained to Laurel. Laurel swallowed down her shock. Nana had been mentally slipping for a while now. Little things she couldn't remember, small details. And this was the second major incident within a short time period. "As you can see, I'm a bit older than 10, Laurel told the officer. "I'm sorry that we've troubled you. She's a bit confused right now. I came to live with my grandmother when I was 10. "No trouble, miss. We're just happy we aren't looking at an abduction." After answering a few more questions for the officers, Laurel gently led her grandmother back into the house and had her sit in her favorite chair. "I don't know what came over me," Helen said, and moaned, covering her cheeks with her hands. "I'm so embarrassed." Helen wrapped her arms about herself like she needed to hold on to the present and leave the past behind. I looked at the time, and you weren't home, and suddenly you were 10 years old again. I was convinced something dreadful had happened to you. What's wrong with me?" she cried. "How could I have done something so bizarre? Am I going crazy? Laurel went to her knees in front of her precious grandmother. Of course you aren't crazy, Nana. You didn't do anything wrong. Those officers came right away and were so kind. I feel terrible to have troubled them. She looked up, seeming to be struck by inspiration. I should bake them cookies to apologize for wasting their time. It's over. I'm home now, and everything is okay. Laurel brewed tea, thinking it would settle their nerves. She sat beside her grandmother, reassuring her several times. Laurel's brain raced with how best to deal with this latest situation. Last week, her grandmother had lost her way in the neighborhood, the very one she'd lived in for more than 50 years. Nana had gone out to collect the mail and noticed that the neighbor's new puppy Browser had escaped his yard. She'd followed him to try to bring him back and hadn't been able to find her way home. Eventually, the neighbor had found the puppy, along with Helen, and had brought Laurel's visibly upset grandmother back home with her. Nana looked pale and frightened. The doctor said that would happen, didn't he? Me getting more and more confused. Wasn't it only last week when I got lost? This is all part of having dementia, isn't it? Laurel nodded. The dementia had become significantly worse over the last several months. It was at the point that she didn't feel comfortable leaving her grandmother alone. But what choice did she have? Their financial resources were tight. All she could do was pray that she and Zach, her husband, could come up with a way to manage these new issues that Nana was having. I don't want you to worry about me, Laurel, Helen insisted. I won't be calling the police again, and I won't be going outside on my own anymore either. Laurel couldn't bear the thought of her grandmother being stuck inside the house by herself for hours on end, afraid to leave for fear she'd be unable to find her way home. You have enough on your plate, Helen continued. I don't ever want to be a burden. You will never be, Nana. Her grandmother had always put others ahead of herself. Laurel set aside her tea and knelt before her Nana the way she had as a child. Resting her head in her grandmother's lap, Laurel mulled over this latest development, uncertain what to do. Helen gently brushed Laurel's hair with her fingers. You know I've been praying for you. Her Nana was a prayer warrior. While Laurel wanted to believe God answered prayers, she'd given up all hope. She couldn't help being discouraged. Every road she'd taken to bring a child into their family had turned into a dead end. She couldn't do it any longer, couldn't hold on to a dream that ended in pain each time. She'd given up and closed the door on the possibility. Laurel had tried to stay positive, but it seemed a baby wasn't ever going to happen for her. I guess I should be saying prayers for myself, Nana teased, and gripped hold of her granddaughter's hand. God has a baby for you. I feel it in my heart, Laurel. Don't give up hope. Laurel didn't know how to make her Nana understand. She and Zach finally had realized that they weren't meant to have children. They'd decided to move forward after coming to terms with their situation. Neither of them was willing to go through yet another failed attempt at the process of bringing a child into their home, into their family. And the sooner Nana accepted that children weren't going to be part of their lives, the better. For her to even mention the possibility of a child pained Laurel. Remember Hannah? Nana reminded her. She desperately wanted a child, and God gave her Samuel. Her grandmother was well versed in the Bible and began to recount the stories of other women who had dealt with infertility. And Elizabeth, the mother of John the Baptist. I do. And Rachel? Yes, Nana, you've shared these stories with me before, Laurel gently replied. She thought to herself that the Bible didn't recount the women who had been unable to have children. Her grandmother continued to tenderly brush Laurel's head. Don't lose faith, dear one.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?